lawn suffering from heat stress right now? Well, welcome to the Great View North. My name is Wade Murray, and I'm going to try to help you with that today. And if your lawn is like my lawn or any other lawn currently in the Great Lakes area, we're all suffering from an extreme bout of heat stress that has wrapped this area in a massive heat wave. So today we're going to be going over what's going on with my lawn. My lawn is fully irrigated, in ground in the back, manual in the front. However, as much as I've been irrigating, almost watering every day, but as you can see, my neighbors' lawns on either side, front and back, the neighborhood beside me, everybody's lawn is looking basically like straw. And today is July 2nd, so this is not good for the future. Hopefully we're going to be getting some rain next week, pulling us out of this heat. We've been sitting in the 30 degrees. We haven't had rain in about 3 weeks. We are in a moderate drought currently. So I'm going to take you around, tell you what I'm seeing around here. All right, so starting with my side yard, this spot here, I'm seeing drought stress. I believe you can see it on camera. This just started to show up yesterday into today. I'm going to be watering this with the hose tonight to try to recover that area. Over here, this side yard gets a lot of shade, so I haven't been seeing a lot of droughts or heat stress, now this to say, in here, mostly drought stress, just because of, as I talked about, that lack of rain. But I have been irrigating over here. Don't seem to have any major issues except for around these maple trees. Just like everything, your big trees do suffer from heat stress at the same time, so seeing rings around your trees is not normal, as they are sucking a lot of the water out of the soil. So over here I actually had to irrigate around this tree because a big circle started to form around this tree here that was drying out, so I had to irrigate that into the backyard. The shaded areas are progressing quite a bit better under these trees. It's nice and shaded, the grass is progressing fine, but you can see little spots like right there, or starting to get into the middle here. There's a zone here, there's a zone here. They overlap right here in the middle, and this is where I'm seeing all this drought stress. I believe you can see it on camera, how brown it's kind of starting to turn here. I've been running the sprinkler, a manual sprinkler, up and down the middle of the yard about every week, just to keep this section alive. I've pretty much given up on keeping it looking good at this point. I just can't possibly with the heat we're getting. However, as you can see, still looking pretty decent in here and over here as well, but seeing a lot of stress in there, and right down the middle. And needless to say too, today is day number 2 or day number 3, I guess you could say, on my watering cycle. So the sprinklers will be kicking on in about 3 hours to water this yard. So today is pretty much as stressed as it's going to get before the sprinklers kick in and water it again. So needless to say, this is what a fully irrigated lawn looks like currently. I'm putting almost 3/4 inch down every 3 days, and this is what I'm getting. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and what I've been seeing a lot of comments about, is managing your expectations. What are you seeing in that lawn? What are you capable of producing currently with those weather conditions? All right, so we talked a little bit earlier in the year about evapotranspiration rates, or ET rates. If you haven't seen the video, full video I did about watering, check that out in iCard up here. But our evapotranspiration rates of the water that we're losing a day is somewhere in the neighborhood of 1/4 to 1/2 inch for the last 2 weeks. We've been sitting around 40 degrees every single day, and we haven't had rain in about 3 weeks. This is perfect storm of drought and heat stress. We're getting the drought stress because we have the lack of rain, and we're also getting that heat stress. It doesn't matter how green, how healthy your lawn is, it cannot take that heat on a day-to-day basis. My lawn was good for about the first week and a half of this heat event. We were perfectly fine, everything was okay, and it wasn't until about a week ago, I would say, that things started to turn bad. Things got a little better this week, but they're starting to turn bad again. This wind today is not helping, but hopefully, as I said, getting some relief soon. So let's talk about what you can do. Number 1, make sure you're irrigating 1 inch to 1/2 inch every 2 to 3 days. I would almost recommend at this point that 1/4 inch every other day might do more good than 1 inch to 1/2 inch every 2 to 3 days, just because of the relentless amount of heat we are getting that lower dose of water more frequently might help save a bit of your grass with more water in the soil. But forget about that. The thing I wanted to encourage you guys today is you're not going to be getting the green, dark green look currently that you strive for. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry to say, but it's not possible. So what you can focus on is keeping your lawn alive, so that when this heat event does inevitably end, in which it will, then you will get a green, healthy lawn as fast as possible. And what we can talk about too is there is this thing called the summer curve. It's a bell curve, and you go from a drought, the lawn becomes more and more stressed. It hits dormancy point.
And then after a certain while, you begin to hit the end of the summer, and then your lawn begins to slowly come back, as you can see that arch back in the fall, before you go into dormancy for the end of the year.
And we're going to be going back down the other side very soon. Temperatures are cooling off. Hopefully we'll be able to get back down the other side as fast as possible, because I'm getting tired of this insane amount of heat. So what if I can encourage you guys anything, give you a couple tips? Don't be disappointed with the way your lawn is. You need to manage your expectations. You're going to be getting as good as you can with the heat you can. Now, that brown spot that I showed you in the middle of my back lawn, that is not dead. That is not dead. And if your lawn is completely straw brown, it is also not dead. It is currently in a dormancy phase. I know I like to I know.
I think I'm hooked on you, baby, you're golden. Time moves, I never noticed, just can't get enough. Got me wonderstruck. I knew the second I met you, I was doomed to never forget you. Just one single touch got me wonderstruck. Now I'm dying when you call me yours. Pour my heart out on the kitchen floor, 'cause oh my God, I'm seeing stars with you.
So that's kind of what's going on in the back lawn, mainly those heat stressed areas, those large areas of drought stress that I'm seeing. But some of the areas the irrigation system is covering, like over here, are still quite green. I mean, you can see the stress on camera, still quite stressed. It's just so hot, but some areas are doing perfectly fine. Other areas like over here, extremely stressed. Coming around here to the side yard, this gets full direct sun all day. It is looking pretty good for the amount of sun it gets on a regular basis. There are a couple of stress spots like here and here. This also needs to be watered compared to previous.
There's a freedom from your hips up to your eyes. Patron saint of the season, yeah, you were built from